Children, welcome to the online classes. This is 4th standard SS. Second lesson. The name of the lesson is Topography of India. Topography of India, Bharatada Lakshanagalu. Okay. In the previous period, already we have studied. The Himalayas have three parallel ranges. Those are the Himadris, Himachala range and Shivalik. Okay. The Himadris are greater Himalayas, Himachala range is a lesser Himalaya, Shivaliks is a lower Himalayas. Okay, the Himadri range already have studied. It is northernmost. Okay, and then the mountains are always covered in snow. Then there is no possible to the cultivation and human habitation is not possible there. Okay, because the mountains are always covered in snow. Then the Himachala range. It is around 3000 meters. Okay, the Kashmir Kullu and the Kangra valleys are popular tourist destinations. Okay, then there is a hill stations like Simla, Musrai, Nainital, Almora, Gangtok and Darjeeling. One more is there, students. Then Himachala Pradesh. Rohtang Pass in Himachala Pradesh and Nanula Pass in Sikkim are located in this region. The La means pass in Tibetan. Already you have studied that those. Okay. The third one is the Shivalik range. The Shivalik range. See here, this is the southernmost and the lowest range of the Himalayas. It is southernmost is there, then it is also lower range. Rightfully called the lower Himalayas. So, those we have called it lower Himalayas. This range is made up of hills rather than mountains. Hills rather than mountains. The slopes have thick forests which are teeming with wildlife. The slopes have thick forests, see here, which are teeming with wildlife. The Kaziranga National Park, remember this one, underline also. Kaziranga National Park and Jim Corbett National Park. These are the two famous parks, two famous national parks, wildlife sanctuaries located in the Shivalik Hills. Okay, remember this one. Kaziranga National Park and Jim Corbett National Park are the two famous wildlife sanctuaries located in the Shivalik Hills. This is the Kaziranga National Park. This one is Jim Corbett National Park. Here so lot of tigers. Lot of tigers are there in this national park. Here so many mrigas means terrace farming is practiced. Cattle rearing is also common here. Terrace farming is practiced on the slopes of the hills. Cattle rearing is also common here. Terrace farming, this is, see here. Step by step is there. This is the terrace farming. Okay. See here children, here. Naukalikai Falls. Cherrapunji in Assam. This is the famous falls in Assam, Cherrapunji. The name of the fall is Naukalikai. Okay. The Terai region south of the Shivaliks is a flat marshy land where rice, wheat and sugar cane are cultivated in abundance. The Terai region south of the Shivaliks is a flat marshy land where rice, Wheat and sugar cane are cultivated in the abundance. Now, you must have understood why the Himalayas are so important. See here children, why the Himalayas are so important, not just for us Sherpas, but for every Indian citizen. Let each one of us take a pledge to nature and protect the mighty Himalayas. Okay. Turn the page. See children here. The northern plains. The northern plains, also called Indo-Gangetic plains. Indo-Gangetic plains, also called as northern plains. Why we call this like? Lie south of Himalayas at the foothills. These are vast, fertile lowlands. These are vast and fertile lowlands extending from Punjab in the west to Assam in the east. Punjab in the west and Assam in the east side. Okay. These lowlands extending from Punjab to Assam. It means west to east. They also cover the states of Haryana, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. Haryana, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. Okay, these are the states. The northern plains cover these states. Not all parts of Assam lie in the plains. The plains are approximately 2,400 km long. How much kilometers is there? 2,400 km long, and the width varies from 150 to 300 km. Long is 2,400 km. The width is 150 to 300 km. Three important rivers originating in the Himalayas flow through this belt. River Indus flow through Pakistan. River Indus flow through Pakistan in the west. River Indus, River Brahmaputra flow through eastern India into Bangladesh. See, River Indus flows through Pakistan in the west side. River Brahmaputra flows through eastern India into Bangladesh. Okay, and finally into Bay of Bengal. Finally, into the Bay of Bengal. The Ganges is the longest and most important river flowing through these plains. It also flows into the Bay of Bengal. As these rivers flow down the Himalayas into the plains, they carry with them a lot of silt, which they deposit on the flat plains, making the soil very fertile. Why the soil is very fertile in that area? Because all these rivers flow down the Himalayas into the plains, then they carry with them a lot of silt, which they deposit on the flat plains. So on that area the soil is very fertile. Okay. Naturally, agriculture becomes the main occupation here. The main occupation is agriculture. Where? In that area, northern plains. In the northern plains, the agriculture is the main occupation, because that area was very fertile plains, flat plains, and there is a very fertile soil. So the agriculture occupation is very important, and that is there is a very main occupation also. As the rivers are snow fed, they have water throughout the year. Such rivers are called perennial rivers. Perennial rivers. The rivers are snow fed. They have water throughout the year. Such rivers are called perennial rivers because that rivers always, it means throughout the year they have water. So those are perennial rivers. Many important cities of India have developed along the banks of these rivers and their tributaries. Okay? See here, children. Many important cities of India have developed along the banks of these rivers and their tributaries. Okay? The cities are densely populated. There is an excellent network of roads and railways in this part of the country. See here, there is an excellent network of roads and railway in this part of country. This helps in transporting the crops produced here to other parts of the country. Okay? This is the developed along the banks of these rivers and their tributaries. Okay? The northern plains can be divided into 3 river basins. Here, the northern plains can be divided into 3 river basins. These are the Ganga basin, Brahmaputra basin, Satluj basin. Ganga, Brahmaputra, Satluj. These are the 3 basins in the northern plains. See here, Yamunotri glacier, Gangotri glacier. This is the Bay of Bengal in the east side, Indus in the west side. See here, this is the Satluj basin, Brahmaputra basin and Ganga basin. Okay? These are all northeast. Then northeast side is there, near the north also. Basin means, what is mean by basin? An area watered by a river and its tributaries. Tributaries means upanadigalu. An area watered by a river and its tributaries. Tributary means a smaller river or stream that flows into a larger river or lake. Okay? The next one is the Ganga basin. The first one we want to study the Ganga basin. Okay? Ganga basin. Here, see here children, this is the map. Gangotri glacier. Okay? Gangotri glacier. Here, some of the cities names. Kolkata, West Bengal, Patna, Bihar, Allahabad and Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. Okay, here Ganga basin is there. Uttarakhand, Mandakini, Alaknanda, Rudraprayaga, Bhagirath, Devaprayaga, Haridwara, Delhi. This is Yamuna. Okay? This one is the Bay of Bengal. The Ganga is the holiest river for Hindus. Yes. This is the holiest river. Which one is holiest river for Hindus? Ganga. It is 2,500 kilometers long. It is 2,500 kilometers long. It originates from the Gangotri glacier as the Bhagirathi and the Alaknand. Here, Bhagirathi and Alaknand. This is the Bhagirathi. Then Alaknand. Where is that Alaknand? See here. River Mandakini. River Mandakini originates from another glacier near Kedaranatha. Okay? It joins Alaknand at Rudraprayaga. It joins from Alaknand at Rudraprayaga. Okay? See here, from here it proceeds towards Devaprayaga. This is the Rudraprayaga. This one is Devaprayaga. Okay? Devaprayaga, where it joins with Bhagirathi. It joins with Bhagirathi, related to each other. Okay? See here. From here it proceeds towards Devaprayaga, where it joins with Bhagirathi to from the Ganga. See here children, this is the Ganga river. The Alaknand and Rudraprayaga and Devaprayaga, these are related to each other. Okay? See here, Rudraprayaga, then Devaprayaga, where it joins with Bhagirathi. Okay? This is the Bhagirathi, it joins with the Bhagirathi. The Gangas enters the plains at Haridwara and flows through the states of Uttarakhand. Where is that? Uttarakhand, then Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh, okay? Then Bihar, it is the Bihar. Then West Bengal, okay? See here, through the states of Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. Okay? Which one? Haridwara and flows. The Gangas enters the plains at Haridwara. Okay? See here, this is the Haridwara. Okay? Uttarakhand, then Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. Okay? Several tributaries along the way. So many tributaries are along this way. Okay? The river Yamuna, which also originates. Yamuna, see here, this is the Yamuna. River originates from the Yamunotri glacier, meets Gangas at Allahabad. Here, where it will meet the Gangas? It will meet in Allahabad. See here, arrow mark they have given. It will come to meet the Ganga in Allahabad. Okay? The meeting point is called Sangam. This one is called Sangam. The Kumbh Mela is held here once every 12 years. Here they have held one festival, that is Kumbh Mela. Because Yamuna and Ganga joined in the point of Allahabad here. Okay? This meeting point is called Sangam. Then millions of pilgrims gather at Allahabad during this time. When they have held the Kumbh Mela every 12 years, on that time so many pilgrims gather at Allahabad. On that time so many millions of pilgrims gathered. Okay? Gangas at Tehri Garhwal. Gangas at Varanasi. Then this is the Kumbh Mela. Okay? Rivers Gomti, Ghagra, Gandak, Koshi, Chambal, Ken, Betwa and Sindh join the Gangas as it flows eastward. These are all flows eastward. Okay? Take a look at the map. Write the names of important cities on the bank of rivers Ganga. Find out names of other important cities and add to the list. See here children, I will tell you. Rishikesh Haridwara, Farrukhabad, Kanpur, Allahabad, Mirzapur, Varanasi. Copied it properly, children. Gazipur, Buxar, Balia, Patna, Hajipur, Mungar, Bhagalpur, Fatehgarh, Kannauj, Shukla, Kari. Okay, these are the important cities. The Ganga basin is the most densely populated part of our country. Why? Because here the fertile soil is there. Then the rivers flow down the Himalayas into the plains. They carry with them a lot of silt which they deposited on the flat plains, that making the soil is very fertile. Then the rivers are snow fed, they have water throughout the year. Then so we call those rivers perennial rivers. Okay. Then there is a what is that? Naturally agriculture becomes the main occupation here. So the Ganga basin is the most densely populated part of our country. It is also the most fertile. It is called the food bowl of India. Food bowl of India. Crops like sugarcane, rice, wheat and jute are grown in plenty here. Here sugarcane, rice, wheat and jute are grown in plenty. Lot of. Okay. This like we have studied today the northern plains, then the Ganga basin. Okay, children. In the next period we will study about we want to study Brahmaputra basin. Today we have studied Ganga basin. Next we should study the Brahmaputra basin. Okay, children, you have to read properly this one. Then also observe the videos. Observe the videos 2 times or 3 times. On that time only you have to understand the lesson. Okay? Take care, children.